What's up, fellas? It's your boy Schema back with another episode for the Dynasty. Talk about divisional predictions. It's gonna be a tough season. And look around the league, everybody got a tough schedule, including me. But I couldn't do it alone. I got one of the top defenders of all time. He has multiple banners in the Dynasty. It's your boy Tightwork. What's going on, man?
Hey, I'm too dark, man. I can't blush. So, what's good,
Oh
Scheme?
man.
Just here to help out, see what we can do, man.
Yeah, man, it's gonna be a good season, man. So I'm going waking up early in the morning, man, getting ready for this. It's gonna be a tough season. And even on a day off, you just put in some extra work. Got a tough schedule. But with a tough schedule, it's always hard to win a division title. So you got in the AFC North, you got Bruce with the Browns, who I think is ready for a comeback season. Um, you got the Steelers coming off just a big time season. He made strides. HBO, he think he going back to the playoffs. Why the Bengals develop his young talent. What's your thoughts on the division? Who you think in the end, who you think gonna win the division?
Man, it's a tough one, man. I like man, Bruce cool, man. I've been playing with him for a couple cycles here and there, but Chris Murray won the division last year, man. I think I'm gonna go with Chris Murray because he got them headhunters on defense that'll keep him in games even when he's not playing that good. But and then now he's starting to run the ball, so that helps out make his offense a little bit more balanced. And I think he found his niche, man. I think he can repeat, but the Browns is looking good at the start of the season.
Well, I think I'm going a different direction. I think that the Browns are looking for redemption. Maybe took a year off because even with Chris Murray dominating the division, I think he still could have got a playoff spot. Maybe unfortunate because I did get one. But no, I think with the addition of Cam Newton, I think that's the best quarterback he had this particular cycle. I mean, he did trade Mayfield to the Vikings. A lot of people question that, but hey, the guy he's won a banner as well. I think with Cam Newton, you do have Bush, who's like the quarterback of the Pittsburgh defense. But I think it's gonna be, a chess match. So, coin flip, toss up, whatever you want to call it. You like the Steelers, I'm going to the Browns. I think those corners, Ward and Greedy Jackson, they'll be enough to kind of contain the style Chris Murray likes to play. But you can't go to sleep on Jones. I think linebacker is one of the issues in Cleveland. But with all the mixes and matches and matchups or whatever we're gonna see, I'm going with the Browns. Okay,
Yeah,
moving right. Any last minute thoughts on that division?
no, I think it's gonna be a slugfest, man. Best man win.
Oh yeah. All right, moving right along. We're gonna go to the AFC South. Another great division that everybody likes to see, keep their eyes on, especially when it comes to the Texans and Jacksonville Jaguars. Um, the Colts, good defensive minded guy. I think his offense needs to pick up in order, you know, to be good in that division because the Texans and Jacksonville Jaguars can actually put up 40 points on any given night. Tennessee Titans still trying to find his niche. I think the coach should have been fired. 3 losing seasons. I mean, even 1 losing seasons. You got guys firing coaches. I think it's another dismal season for Tennessee. I'm not sure. He said the defense got better. We shall see. What's your thoughts on the AFC South?
Yeah, as far as the Colts, they they went to go fire the coach this off season, but something happened with the fax machine. They didn't get it complete in time. So right now they debating on whether or not what they're gonna do moving forward. But as far as this division go, it belongs to Addy, man, and them Texans, man. I don't see nobody beating them. He got a new coach coming in with a new scheme. The offense, I think, by week 8, he'll have it down. He's already moving. He scored 72 points so far this season in 2 games. So I look for him to do some things. SJ, he's gonna keep like nudging at him, but I don't think he can beat Addy, man. So this is Addy's division, and the other two guys, Colts and Titans, they not ready to go get it yet. But maybe later on in the cycle they might be. But right now it's all Houston.
I have to agree with that. But we can't forget. Let's see here. I think Addy came second last season based on having to play you in week 17.
Yep.
Jacksonville was able to get the division title. So we'll see what happens. And you can't depend on that. I think in order for Jacksonville to have a chance to take the division title, I think that the Colts and Tennessee need to come up and help because it's too predictable in that division. Texans, Jacksonville, Texans, Jacksonville. I do have the Texans taking this one. Um, I do. I think it'll be like 2 or 3 games this time. It won't come down to the end. In order for it to do that, the Colts and Tennessee Titans got to step up and get some wins. They got to say, hey, you know what? We tired of being doormats. We want to move up. We want to go in there and beat the Texans. We want to go in there and beat Jacksonville. You got guys like Miles Jack you got to worry about. You got Reed on defense. I really like the game player Reed from the Texans. He's making plays all over the field. And you got to worry about Hopkins on offense and Leonard Fournette, when it comes to the Jacksonville Jaguars offense. But on the Colts and Tennessee Titans, I mean, somebody got to step up on offense too. I mean, they got guys, that can step up. Mariota needs a big season. You got, man, I think the Colts made some moves. He did give it a Hines, but who knows? The Colts are just generally a defensive minded person. But he needs to find somebody on offense and say, hey, you the man. So until that happens, they're not winning no division title. I got the Texans. All right, moving on to the AFC East. Got the Dolphins, who's been winning the division, for the last 2 seasons. A dominating defense, always number 1 or 2 in the pass defensive category based off last year, which is another show gonna come out, later on today. You got the Bills who continue to struggle on offense, defensive personnel, defensive minded, but you got to score. You got to sustain drives. Until you do that, the defense, will be overlooked. You got the Patriots who's trying to get used to the quarterback named Black, to make up for the loss of Tom Brady. Since Tom Brady's been gone, the Patriots have not been the same. The Jets, kind of balanced, can move the chain, stop people at times. How you look at this division type work?
Well, I think the first thing we got to point out is that the Patriots messed up from the get go. When they went and got Black, they should have went and got White. You know what I'm saying? Because Black ain't gonna get them past the the Jets or the Dolphins. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, hey, go find Mr. White. But hey, like I said on the other show, man, this the Dolphins division until somebody step up and say they want it. It's Miami's. I like the moves that the Jets made this season. They brought in a lot of established players to overtake them Dolphins, but they meet up in a couple weeks so we can see what's going on with that. But I can't pick against myself like I heard other people say, and I do believe this is my division until you decide to come take it from me.
Yeah, I have to agree with you. Everybody's gonna pick themselves. Even people that was 0-3 might pick themselves right now. But I think that the Patriots, is one of those suspicious teams who can win on any given day. But division title, no, I don't see it this year. Yeah, I would pick myself. I do have confidence in coming in, take the East. But like you said, until I do that, you the top dog. Just look at it that way. Bills, you got a new coach, got Dallas, got Buffalo. I think sometimes need to get in the lab, work on some offensive plays. If this guy's checked, go to another guy. Read 3 guys at one time. Whatever it takes to get better on offense, because your defense is too good. You even got a couple of interceptions last night, but wasn't really taking advantage. I got interceptions, took them to the house. Took advantage, got me a last minute touchdown with Thomas. So until you guys step up on offense, I know Tone is a well balanced player. He just went on his quarterback to grow. But until the Bills step up on offense, it's gonna be a long cycle. So yeah, we'll just call it a toss up for my decision between the Dolphins and the Jets as the division title.
Come on, man, say it with your chest, man. Say it with your chest.
I like Jets, man. I like the Jets' chances, man. But I gotta
All
learn
right.
how to win. 15, 16 games. Yeah, I can't win those 16 games. Hey, you know what? I can't win it. But yeah, so Vegas got the Dolphins, but mentally, I like the Jets' chances. AFC West, a very, to me, it's the most unpredictable division in the league. But what all these coaching changes, rules around the league, guys forced into one playbook, even some of the top dogs are starting to scratch their heads on who they hire. How do you see this division turning out between the Chiefs, Raiders, Broncos, and the Chargers?
At the beginning of the season, I would have put my money on the Chargers to win it again, but they came out the gate 0-2. You know, scoring 42 points, giving up 83. That's not a good look. And we got KP. He gave up 21 points his first game, and he scored 31. You know, his offense is always going to be there. But I think this might be KP here, man. And the Raiders got a new coach. He hasn't a new playbook. He hasn't found that right mix for what he like to do and what the playbook allows him to do. So, and Broncos, he's still darkness. He can play. I don't know what's been going on with him this cycle so far, but I think eventually he's gonna find his way to the win category more often and compete for the division or second instead of last. But this season right here, 2022, I think it's gonna be the Chiefs.
Okay, I have to agree with that. You got Tyreek Hill, Mahomes. You got Ross. I mean, it's attract me every time you play him. He's looking to put up points in bunches. He did manhandle the Chargers. Um, I think the Chargers might fight back. But yeah, I'm going with you. You know, the Chiefs. Chiefs are a very dangerous team, and he's coming back with, with a better playbook, one of the top-rated playbooks, which is the Chargers. So, with that being said, I mean the Raiders. I think he's gonna find his niche late in the cycle. Maybe not now. He played a game where he looked lost for the first time. It was a new, playbook for him. So we'll see what happens. I think some of the players on his offensive side of the ball, like Jacobs, may not be fond of that playbook. So he's gonna have to make use of the receivers and the tight ends quickly if you want to be competitive. On the Broncos, just again, everybody trying to win a division title, stay out of the bottom five. Until the darkness, go home and laugh for like 2 or 3 hours. Offense only, same situation with Buffalo Bills. You know, throw to the check down. Go to the deep guy. This guy's taking, go somewhere else. We all throw interceptions, but I can tell when I see these games who's coming with a game plan or not. Nash Snoop has a game plan, you know, but may throw picks. A lot of guys, Seattle, the Saints, they have game plans, but they may throw picks. But when I see Bills and Broncos play, what's the game plan? What's plan A, what's plan B, C, and D? Until you come up with that, it's gonna be hard to function. And I'm gonna throw picks myself, but I have a game plan just like Tone to overcome things like that. So I'm going Chiefs all out on this one. I don't think the Broncos on the Raiders will be there in the end unless they put in some heavy loud work. But by the time you do that, the Chiefs will have a 2 or 3 game lead. All right, let's go ahead and move on to the NFC North. Okay, you got the high flying pack, who has 2 titles already. Bus, he's determined to redeem himself. The Lions are scratching. The Vikings are still trying to find his niche. How do you see this division turning out, Mr. Tightwoods?
This one here is a coin flip for me, man. I think the bus found what he's comfortable with. He tried to use the Bills and Nagy, but it wasn't working for him. So he went and got that coordinator out of Dallas, and now he's back to familiar grounds, and he is starting to show. He scored 46 points in 2 games, but the Packers making moves all the time. That many moves that he can make, he gonna make them, man. And he got the best O line in the league right now, and he got 2 quality running backs. He found some quarterback in the draft. So hey, he by personnel alone, you got to put him up top. But I think the bus is coming for him this series. But it's a coin flip. I can't say, but if I had to pick one, I guess I'll go with the Pack just because he won a Super Bowl last year and he was returning. He got a strong roster. The Lions, yeah, I don't. Hey, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes he cool, dude. I like him, man. He cool. We don't. I don't know, man, but I don't know what he's doing. What his plan is. Like you said, you got to have a plan. His team got a lot of holes, and with all the holes in his team, no matter how good you are as a player, it's hard to compete with teams like the Packers and Bears until he patched those holes up. This draft, he had a good draft. The linebacker he drafted in the first round, he didn't come out as good as we thought, but he's fast and he's somebody to build on. So that's a start. He's I think he found him a quarterback. I'm not sure. He's been starting a rookie quarterback. He's been doing all right. He's 1-1. You know, he scored more points than he gave up in his 2 games. So he might be competing with the Vikings for third place for now. But if he keep making good decisions, he'll be up there. But this season right here, 2022, I think I'm gonna go Packers right now.
Okay, yeah, not a bad pick, not a bad pick. It will come down to the Bears and the Pack. I think the Lions will be out of the bottom five. We'll wait and see. But the Vikings, you can start to see right now, he's losing confidence in his team. His first game was already a loss. He lost 65 to 10. There was rumors about Hunter being on the move. Some of the keystone players, are the key players of that franchise. So maybe he's giving up on his team and ready to make changes. I'm going with the Bears. I think, unless Aaron Rodgers have to come in sometimes in the fourth quarter, I think the Bears should at least get split with the Pack. We'll see what happens. Um, but the Bears, you talking about a defensive minded guy who's known for making stops. Um, that rookie quarterback for the Packers that he drafted could cost him, but we'll wait and see. He's gonna make some errant throws. But these two defenses, the Pack have a great defense too. My goodness. Oh man, it's a toss up. I'm telling you right. I want to change my mind right now. But we're gonna go with Khalil Mack to steal the show. We're gonna give Khalil Mack and Eddie Jackson the keys to the car to go and not dethrone the Pack. So with that being said, in the Lions, he's not gonna beat the Pack. He's not gonna beat the Bears. So Bus ain't gonna get no help. He's not gonna get no help from the Vikings. Same thing we said about the AFC South. Guys at the bottom got to step up and help guys out. Help yourself out too. Because you got the Lions. The Lions are another person that needs to sit down and say, hey, you come into this year, you say to you, I hit you on the DM, you say you got the same playbook, 4 seasons. You should have mastered that playbook on offense. You should be putting up 30, 40 points every now and then within the season. So we're gonna see what happens, but I get it, the edge to the Bears in this one. I think both guys will win at least 12 plus games, but we'll see what happens. So yeah. Let's go ahead and move on to the next division, NFC South. Mr. C-Rob has taken control. The Saints are always fighting. The Falcons, he can push you to the end of the game, but still come out with a loss. The Panthers, he's making changes right now, so I think this year and next year, he's going to be at the bottom. He's going to be a doormat the next 2 seasons. What's your take on the NFC South?
Right now, it's C-Rob division to lose, man. He
Yeah,
he came in with a young team, with a young quarterback, and all he every season he's been trying to get them better. Where the other 3 teams started off with aging quarterbacks, and now all of them gone, and they rebuilding. So up until they find quarterbacks, I'm gonna go with C-Rob. Even though Jameis Winston seems to not be throwing good, because last night against the Saints he missed a lot of throws, man. But
yeah, I
C-Rob found
saw
him a
that.
running game. He found him a running game, and he got a stable of running backs, and he's been playing decent defense. So not great, but decent. So until those 3 teams decide what they're gonna do with their offense, whether gonna pound the ball out and wait till they find them a quarterback and play defense, or are they gonna air it out with these? quarterbacks that can't throw, man. They got to find something. But as of right now, it's all Buccaneers.
I would agree. He definitely has the edge. He set the tone last night. But the one guy you can't count out is the Saints. Not for this particular season here. I think the Saints probably could win about. Mm, he'll win 8 plus, but that won't be enough for the division title. Um, the Falcons, this could potentially be his year that he fought. Could. Nah, I would say Panthers. Panthers could be a bottom five team. I think Nash Snoop would be a bottom 10. Still holding on to Matt Ryan. I think eventually, as we get closer to high stakes, he'll have a better quarterback than Matt Ryan. He's just trying to, deal with that contract. But I'm gonna tell you the real reason why Seahawks gonna win this division. Look at the top receivers. There's no more Julio. There's no more Michael Thomas. They all on my team, both of them. Um, Cam Newton is gone. I mean, all the offensive threats that was in this division are long gone. And when you got a young secondary like the Bucks, they lack awareness at times. That was your advantage. But at the same time, like what Maurice is doing, he kept his defense intact. Another defensive-minded guy. People question him when he drafted the running back Hebron. I thought it was a good pickup. Because he is faster. I know what Maurice is trying to do. And Kamari, I mean, hey, he can get something good in return for that to help him compete in the division with C-Rob. But I really thought at the beginning this was National's year to take a step in the right direction because he does have wide receiver Collins. Maybe next year because right now 0-2, I don't think he has a chance. But I think that come towards high stakes, look out. National gonna take a step in the right direction. But right now, as we speak, it's all yours, C-Rob. Your team is complete. You have no holes. Man, there's no reason you should lose this division title. All right, as we move on to the next, the NFC East, another competitive division, one that belongs to the Cowboys. He does have two competitive guys in the Eagles and the Redskins. The Giants look like he's happy right now. Look like he's playing with a lot of confidence, but it still comes down to the wins and losses. Um, I see the Giants. He might get about 6, 7 wins, maybe. What's your take on this division? How you see it? How you see the outcome on this division?
Until somebody shows that they can beat the Cowboys, it's all Cowboys, man. The other guys in the division got potential, but nobody have shown that they can do it or even compete with him. He's been blowing everybody out. I know his team is starting to decline a little bit, but his defense is still top notch. But I don't see the, we can move on from this one, man. It's all Cowboys.
Yep, all Cowboys. Dak Prescott. That defense of the 3-4 led by Byron Jones, Jalen Smith, Vanderish. It's too much, but the one I see that can be able to knock him off, playing tight, would be the Eagles, but that's not gonna happen. I don't see it. I mean, Eagles will make the playoffs. I got to make in the playoffs, but no division title. It's hard to win 14 games in one season, but the Cowboys are gonna win about maybe 13 or 14. So you got to set your bar high, or like you said, go beat the Cowboys. So yeah, he did add Amos. I think that'll help the secondary out. The Redskins still looking for trades. So until he make a big trade to kind of counter what the Cowboys are doing, no, I don't see him overcoming the Cowboys. But like you said, let's move on. Last but not least, the NFC West, another competitive division in the beginning, but you can see everything starting to shape into a one-man show. The 49ers been struggling. He could pick it up at any point in time, or can he? He did lose Sherman. I thought since Sherman left his team, he let him get away. I thought he just went to the bottom. It's like he was struggling to win. Because Sherman is a game changer. What's your take on this division? And can the Cardinals be knocked off this year?
No, no, he done went to Arizona State, right up the street, and brought in old Sydney. And he already had a powerful offense with three good receivers, a good quarterback, and now he had an explosive running back, and a couple young guys he had on defense are starting to step up. And look, in 2 games he scored 93 points, man. That's crazy. He blew out the 49ers. They start with 2, and then he showed the weakness of the 49ers. They even though they signed Zach Martin this offseason to a big deal, they can't block. And the Seahawks and Rams, I don't think they ready. But the Seahawks has started off the season good. He won his first game 34-13, but I still don't think he's going to be able to slow down that high-powered offense in Arizona. And that's pretty much what it's going to be. He don't even have to play defense. He's just going to outscore everybody. And this is his division. I got him going deep into the playoffs this year.
That's a good prediction. Very good. Easy one too. Might be the easiest call of the season. I got the Cardinals winning the division. Man, I mean, I want to go to Vegas right now because I don't see nobody overtaking him. Seattle, like I said, he one of the guys that have a game plan. He know what he's doing, but he's not going to overtake, the Cardinals at this point. Flair might find himself back in the bottom five. The 49ers, don't be surprised, he did finish 10-6 last season. So he may go 10-6 again. But that won't be enough, you know, to overtake the Cardinals. Garoppolo is still there, you know. He does have Breida, Kittles, enough weapons to keep this team afloat. I think that he will fall short of the playoffs this year because people like the Bucks, the Eagles, gonna be fighting for the wild card spot. So he's gonna have to find a way to win the division to get to the playoffs. Because I don't see the Eagles and Bucks missing out on wild card opportunities. And like I said, I got Bucks taking division title, by maybe one game. So we'll see what happens. It's all cards. You know, any last minute thoughts on the show? Super Bowl thoughts or best records? Who can go undefeated?
Um, the I think this the NFC is gonna come down to the Cardinals and Cowboys.
All right.
The AFC is me and the Texans. You know what I'm saying? This, hey, but I'm gonna come with something, boy. That Mr. Rice is gonna be a bad man. But well, we gonna try to do what we do. Well, I know I got the AFC East locked up, so in the playoffs, I got a new attitude, so we gonna compete. But hey, look out for Houston with that new playbook, man. It's deadly. He
Well,
hired the coach from Oklahoma State, brought him to the NFL, and he's showing dividends already. So we'll see what he do.
I feel you on that. Two strong teams that you don't want to see on your schedule right now. I mean, going down the stretch and that you just want to play somebody to see where your team stands. But I got a different take on the AFC. It's real strong, and like I said, this is excluding me. I like Bruce. I think Bruce made a huge move in bringing over Cam Newton. I mean, Cam Newton can throw the ball. He got better accuracy than he's had this whole cycle, and I think that he's out for redemption. So Steelers, look out. He hasn't forgotten about that 6-0. I'm telling you now, he's thinking about it. I know you got all the confidence in the world, but if you're gonna take down the Browns again, you're gonna have to score more than 6 points. I saw a lot of opportunities in that game that were left on the field. Like they say, leave food on the table. Oh man, there was a lot of food left on the table in that game. So you can overcome the Browns, but I got the Browns. I got the Browns at least making it to the AFC Championship game. Who meets them? Whether it's the Jets, Dolphins, add in the Houston Texans, or the Chiefs. So, but the Browns are my favorite. The Browns are my favorite. Moving over to the NFC side, I think Expert is hungry. He remembers the loss to the Pack. I got to go with the Cowboys. Sweets, he remembered the loss to the Cowboys. I mean, them games was coming down to the last minute drive. One play could have changed the game. I saw, one play where Zach Prescott was, looking for somebody to throw the ball to. Nobody open. He escaped and then got a first down. If he don't get that first down, we could be talking a whole different scenario about last year's cycle. I mean, last year's, Super Bowl. But let's throw the past away. Congratulations to the Pack. But I got Cowboys and Browns. Cowboys and Browns are my favorite. We
Yeah,
out.
I can see that.
All right, no problem. Anything else, man? Good luck, fellas. It's gonna be a cycle. The Jets are coming. You better load up. Get your popcorn ready, like the Pack said. We're gonna be in it to the end. We're gonna be in it. All right, peace, fellas. Merry Christmas.